Code Michaud. Law, slavery, and the fight against the illegal slave trade. In post-conquest Mauritius, the British Empire had already outlawed the slave trade but not slavery. You could own slaves but you could no longer buy or sell slaves. Some of the sugar estates told a different story. Remote places like Savannah and Bellom became havens for clandestine trafficking, shielded by geography and silence. We know that prior to mechanization, the production of sugar was a very labor-intensive industry, and for a very long time, this labor came in the form of slaves. Estate owners faced a grim arithmetic. If 20 of their 100 registered slaves grew old and infirm, they couldn't simply free them. Doing so would reduce their official count and invite scrutiny. Nor could they let them wander off, as undocumented slaves were either returned or absorbed into government service. The only way to maintain the illusion of a stable workforce was to replace the old with new, illegally imported slaves, and quietly dispose of these infirm. No paperwork changed. No questions asked. The records still showed 100 slaves, but the reality was far darker.
Gentlemen, the census from this sugar estate lists 112 slaves. Yet the estate's shipping logs show arrivals unaccounted for. And the burial records, empty. Where are the infirm, the elderly? They vanish from the workforce, but not from the books. Perhaps they fled. Perhaps they died naturally. Then where are the death certificates? Where are the manumission papers? We are not dealing with neglect. We are dealing with substitution.
They took my father. Say they was too weak. Next week, a new boy came. They called him by my father's name. They wore the same tag. But it was not my father.
Did anyone see what happened?
No one sees. No one speak. But we know.
Most Mauritians know about Code Noir and the Napoleonic Code, but few, outside of legal circles, have heard of the Code Michaud, a legal framework born in the shadows of empire, and named after a man who quietly shaped the justice system of Mauritius. His legacy? A legal framework that helped expose and curb the illegal slave trade. Sadly, even after British rule began, this abhorrent trade continued illegally. Michaud, as Procureur General, saw the need for legal clarity and accountability. One of Michaud's key contributions was the push for a systematic slave census. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it was a tool to track enslaved individuals, prevent illegal imports, and expose fraudulent ownership claims. The census helped identify unregistered slaves, often smuggled in, even though the slave trade had been criminalized. Michaud's reforms made it harder for plantation owners to hide these violations. Under Michaud's guidance, the colonial courts began to enforce stricter documentation. His version of the law required proof of origin, registration, and legal status, a quiet but powerful blow to the underground trade. Though slavery itself wasn't abolished until 1835, Michaud's legal groundwork laid the path for reform. Antoine Michaud didn't free the slaves. But he used the law to slow the machine. His code turned ink and parchment into a shield, protecting the vulnerable, and exposing the corrupt. In Mauritius, even the quiet acts of resistance deserve to be remembered.